Vegas getting ready to tip off the Erica Hamby, LaChina Robinson with a shot for the ages.
I still have chills. What a moment. We won't soon forget, Pam, the greatest game winner I've ever witnessed.
And Elena Delle Donne, an unprecedented season for her.
My vote for MVP, the first player in WNBA history to join the 50-40-90 club. Her ability to hit contested shots is unmatched.
That's 50% from the floor, 40% from three, and 90% from the free throw line. And we are underway in Washington. The Mystics wearing red, the Aces in their black uniforms. Delle Donne being guarded by Tamara Young to start things off. Delle Donne right away over Young. It's just part of her arsenal. Now, Jackie Young, who did not play at all in the second half on Sunday against Chicago, still getting the start, missed. And a whistle.
There really isn't a good matchup defensively for Elena Delle Donne because she has the size of a post player, but the skill of a guard. And right here, backs down Tamara Young with the size advantage. Delle Donne at 6'5". Just a very tough matchup.
Last foul on Emma Miesemann, who tips the rebound to herself.
Now this is the big lineup starting for the Washington Mystics with Emma Miesemann, Delle Donne, as well as Latoya Sanders all in together. They will need that size against A'ja Wilson and Liz Cambage.
Now Cloud with the mismatch on Wilson. Sanders not counted on to give Washington much offense, misses the shot. Washington led the league in scoring this year, led the league in several categories. A'ja Wilson gets the bucket. How about A'ja not taking a shot in the fourth quarter on Sunday?
And we talked to her after that game, and she said, I was feeding the beast. Liz Cambage had it going, so I was trying to get the ball to Liz. She said, I don't mind taking a back seat on this team. We've got so much talent. And it worked out well for the Aces in the long run.
Mystics a little bit cold from the floor to start things off. Jackie Young, the rookie from Notre Dame, #1 overall draft pick. To Cambage, big target with the bucket.
And it's important for Jackie Young to attack. We saw her drive on the first play offensively, and that time started to probe, but eventually got the ball into Liz Cambage.
Delle Donne double teamed, gets the shot up anyway, and who was it off of? Lori Gobayan says it was tipped out of bounds by the Aces.
Well, A'ja Wilson does not just make her presence felt around the basket. She has a nice face-up game, lefty. You saw two players going to McBride. They're trying not to let her get going. And on the move, Elizabeth Cambage. When the offense of Vegas is on the move in the half court, when their bigs are stretching the floor but also cutting to the basket, that's when their offense is at its best.
Delle Donne now guarded by McBride. The lean in off glass. Delle Donne about 7 inches taller than McBride. She is all 4 of Washington's points. Wearing the mask, the nose that she fractured against Los Angeles. On July 7th, one of the games she missed was a loss to Las Vegas. Now Cambage bodies up on Atkins.
And this is an interesting matchup for me. Latoya Sanders at 6'2", number 30 in red, is an underrated defender. She will have the responsibility of 6'8" Liz Cambage, and she told us today she's going to try to use her quickness, get around Liz to knock the ball down, but just mix up how she's guarding her.
Miesemann now guarded by A'ja Wilson. Atkins to Miesemann. Nice feed from Atkins. Washington up by 2. Young got hammered by Atkins on her way to the basket. Atkins in her second year out of Texas, started last year and had a terrific rookie season. sends Jackie Young to the line to shoot 2, where she is an 81% free throw shooter.
This is such an intriguing matchup because we are looking at the best offense in the WNBA, the Washington Mystics, and the best defense in the Las Vegas Aces, and two of the best coaches as well, Mike Tebow and Bill Laimbeer.
Young delivers from the free throw line.
And Las Vegas was #1 in the WNBA in free throw per game, and that was a concern for Mike Tebow. He said we cannot afford to put them on the line.
Atkins steps back and puts in the 3. Ariel Atkins. And then the steal for Washington. We want to welcome you. Those of you who just watched Connecticut beat Los Angeles in game 1 of that semifinal. This is game 1 between the Mystics and the Aces, the #1 versus the #4 seeds. Liz Cambage working underneath. She's gone to work early and often. Pam Ward along with LaChana Robinson and Kim Adams. Las Vegas coming off that incredible win thanks to De'Erica Hamby's long three-point shot after a steal to eliminate Chicago. Washington has not played since the end of the regular season. They have been off for 9 days. Nieseman with the miss. Four points for Cambage and Elena Deladon. Cambage working against Sanders. And Cambage on Sunday against Chicago, 23 points, 17 rebounds, and 6 blocks. Cloud with the 3.
That's an important shot for Natasha Cloud. Early in the show, you mentioned the Washington Mystics making a finals appearance last year, where a reason why they got there was because Natasha Cloud improved her ability to hit the outside shot, which makes them an even more dangerous weapon on offense when she can do that.
Washington set the WNBA single season record, hitting 316 threes as a team this year. Latoya Sanders just committed a foul. Washington took 2 out of 3 games from Vegas during the regular season as the Aces throw it away. The only loss against Vegas was the game in which Elena Deladon did not play because it was soon after she fractured her nose.
Yeah, they haven't really had a straight-up matchup. You hear the crowd going crazy as Christy Tolliver gets ready to check in, but their first matchup, there was no Emma Mieseman. Then they had the earthquake game, which was odd. They had to split and finish later in the year. And then there was no Elena Deladon in one of their matchups. Good shot there by Sanders.
And Latoya Sanders with the bucket. Deladon, who's improved her rebounding this year. Washington on the go. Atkins has 1-3. That one almost went in, but Mieseman cleans it up. Washington moves the ball so well. An unselfish team. Sanders with the finish. Washington scored the last 7 points of this game.
And they want to run Vegas. They want to run their bigs and try to tire them out.
Mieseman with the takeaway, and then Young hip checks Atkins to pick up the foul. Timeout on the floor. When we come back, we will hear from De'Erica Hamby, who made one of the most incredible shots in the history of this league. The Shields inbounds with 13.5 seconds left. Vandersloot looks at the clock. That's a dangerous pass. Hamby.
That's just an unbelievable shot. That's an unbelievable shot with no one in the gym by yourself.
Vegas survives.
I didn't even
starting to realize that we had so much time on the clock. And had I missed that shot, like, I would have never been able to live with it. But I don't know what I did to deserve that, but yeah, I'm just so glad we won.
That was Sunday in Las Vegas, a three-pointer to eliminate Chicago 93-92. Here is De'Erica with Kim Adams.
De'Erica coming off of maybe the wildest shot in WNBA history. What have the past 2 days been like for you?
I really haven't been able to sleep, just a lot of adrenaline. But, I mean, that's in the past now. We got to lock in for this game in the series.
And I know you haven't been in yet, but Washington's balanced offensive attack on display. What do your teammates have to tighten up defensively out there?
We just got to be locked in and rebound and just take care of the ball.
Thank you so much, De'Erica.
Deladon nails the long two, and Vegas has not taken care of the ball. They have 4 turnovers already. Washington, none.
Pam, I still can't believe De'Erica Hamby hit that shot. I mean, what an unreal moment. And that's what you love about the winner-go-home games in the WNBA playoff format, is the desperation that sets in.
And guess who's coming in right now? De'Erica Hamby. They need her energy. She was the 6th player of the year, the 6th woman of the year, as they call it, in the WNBA. And she comes in, and she has had a terrific year, 11 points, 7.5 rebounds during the regular season, the 5th-year pro out of Wake Forest. Hawkins comes in for Ariel Atkins, and during that last break, Christy Tolliver came in. She's got the ball right now. Tolliver has been out the last month with a hurt right knee, and we talked to her today, and she's really going to try to feel it out as to how long she will be able to stay on the court. Deladon gets the Hawkins miss and brings it out.
A lot of offensive rebounds for the Washington Mystics. And that's where they hurt you on the kick out.
Second 3 of the game for Cloud. The run is now 12-0 Washington. Kelsey Plum ends the run in style. And boy, Kelsey Plum, how well did she play in the second half against Chicago?
She was fantastic. I thought the entire game, Kelsey Plum was aggressive, made good decisions. I mean, it was one of the best games I've seen her play all season long, especially considering the fact that Bill Laimbeer only played Jackie Young for 4 minutes.
And no seconds coming in the second half. Plum, 15 points, a team-high 6 assists, and she also nailed 3 threes, one of them to beat the buzzer at the end of a quarter. Cloud on fire! Natasha Cloud has hit her 3rd 3 of the game. And steals it from Cambage as she was backing down Sanders. Tolliver decides not to shoot the 3. Deladon will. And now Hamby. Nice play as she was able to gather and get rid of the defense to get her first basket. But this Washington offense, so potent. So many records this year. League records, not just franchise records, including points per game, point differential, threes, and they have the best player in the league in Elena Deladon.
Well, they're just attacking from everywhere on the floor. Their floor spacing allows them to have offensive balance and really stretches Vegas defensively. And notice the pace of this game. Washington wanted to force Vegas to play quick. They play with some pace, but there's a difference between playing fast and playing quick. And you could see Liz Cambage tiring out, getting up and down.
Yeah, she didn't even go over half court. Wilson with a chance at a 3-point play as she was fouled by Hawkins.
Boy, Natasha Cloud knocking down the outside shot consistently just gives another dimension. And she doesn't like to be disrespected. She's from Philly, so if you go under the screen or you don't contest her from 3, that's when she gets hot. And then Deladon, I mean, the type of focus and balance that she shows in her scoring ability, she's always in control. And they look really good early on here on the offensive end.
No, Cloud gets a break. Deladon also will come out. Elena Deladon with 8 points so far. And you were just talking about how tired Liz Cambage is. She's been subbed out for. And Bill Laimbeer bringing in Sugar Rogers as well to try to get some fresh legs and some healthy lungs right now.
Yeah, you were looking at a shot of Natasha Cloud, and she told us today that This time last year, she was peeing in her pants. She was so nervous running her team in her first ever finals and semifinals. But she said, I woke up calm today because she has grown and matured so much and has now got some experience in these situations.
Niesemann has one rim out. Tolliver able to get in the mix and take it away. Now Powers for three. Washington taking a lot of threes early in this game. That is their 12th. They've hit 4 of them. Wilson scores over Niesemann. Asia with 7. Cuts the lead to 5, excuse me.
2 empty possessions for Washington, and Vegas right back in this.
When Niesemann hits, remember Deladon is not on the floor. Vegas had scored 7 straight before Emma's shot, and now getting the ball down quickly to Hamby.
Both of these teams can get up and down.
Fast-paced first quarter. Washington averaging 89 plus points per game, has 28. Cloud is out, so Tolliver's playing the point. Niesemann might have got away with shifting her feet, but she got the result she wanted. And now the shot clock's off. Plum has the ball. Plum shoots the ball and hits it. Kelsey Plum playing with a lot of fire.
And then she looks over at me, Pam. What was that about?
Tolliver! Washington got off to a quick start, but boy, Vegas storming back. Plum with the big 3 to cut it to 3.
The WNBA Playoffs 2019 is brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. And the new toasted cheddar chalupa at Taco Bell.
Back to Washington, D.C., joined by Aces head coach Bill Laimbeer. Coach, against a team with so many offensive weapons, where does the team defense need to be stronger?
Don't get many second shots. They have way too many second shots.
And how would you like to see them settle in more offensively?
Well, we're turning the ball over. Between turnovers and second shots, we'd be winning this game.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Washington has scored 9 points off turnovers, and Kelsey Plum hit a big shot towards the end of the quarter and had a message, I think, just for you.
Yeah, she did. We had a conversation earlier today about her decision-making that I had commented on in the last game, and I said, how do you balance between being aggressive and having all the talent she has around her? And she said, listen, in order for me to get passes to our bigs, I've got to stay aggressive on the offensive end. Kelsey Plum just reminding everybody, she's still a shooter. She's still a shooter.
Plum in that first quarter, 3 for 3, hit both of her 2s, coming off a spectacular second half against Chicago. Meanwhile, Washington has gone cold.
And you were right. Washington's taking quite a few three-pointers against a tough Vegas Aces defense. You want to make them move. Make their bigs have to guard side to side. That's what's so great about the Washington offense, is that it's not one-dimensional. So the one pass and the shot isn't necessarily their strength.
Jisoo Park hit the 3. Her first 3, she was 0 for 1, or excuse me, that was a long 2 for Park, who did not play at all against Chicago. Tolliver still has not hit.
And Las Vegas has talked about playing some zone look against Washington, I think, just to have in their back pocket defensively. So we may see some of that in stretches in this game.
Park scrambles for the rebound. Cambage forces the contact. Kelsey Plum had this to say to you after that last 3.
I love it. She's a competitor. That left. That's right. Let's go. We were talking about the left-hand jump shot too, Pam. You know, all of us lefties, James Harden, Kelsey Plum, me. Do I fit in there? No? Okay.
She said, what's good, LaChina?
Yeah, what's good? Let's get that left-hand jumper cooking.
That's right. She's on Team Lefty, so right away, she's got a little advantage in your criteria.
Thank you. Acknowledge that.
Team Lefty, it's okay. You've overcome that. But Plum, the overall #1 pick, coming out of the University of Washington a couple of years ago. A lot of pressure on her shoulders when she was in San Antonio. She's had to prove herself all over again for Bill Laimbeer, who is not exactly a cupcake when it comes to proving yourself, and she's played well so far in the playoffs. Roy Gobayan, joined by Billy Smith and Tiara Cruz, are officials this evening get a foul on De'Erica Hamby, her first.
And I like that drive by Powers because she has the ability to put a lot of pressure on the defense because she's so explosive off of the bounce.
Asia Wilson in for Park. Washington led this game by 11, now down 1. Again, this is a best-of-5 semifinal. Atkins fouled as she released the shot. Billy Smith with the call, and Bill Lambier wonders why the whistle took a second or two. 2 on Hamby.
Atkins really looking to be aggressive here with De'Erica Hamby, and Hamby just catches her on the wrist right there on the way up.
It's a legitimate foul, but it did take a while for the call. The whistle did not come right away, so 2 quick ones on Hamby. Series continues Thursday with Game 2 from right here in Washington with Las Vegas. Then we'll see you for Game 3 Sunday, 5 Eastern time on ESPN2. The If Necessary games Tuesday and or Thursday. ESPN app has all of the information to keep you up to date with both this and the LA Connecticut series. So Connecticut with the Game 1 win. Was a close game until later in the 4th quarter.
And that's huge for Connecticut, for their confidence in that series, and they've been so good at home. That's the way you want to kick off the semifinal series.
Sugar Rogers' 3 puts Vegas back on top. Rogers played her college ball not far from here at Georgetown University.
Still really early offense for Washington. I'd like to see the ball hit both sides of the floor.
Cambage misses. Deladon's going to come back in. That should instantaneously help the offense. Another 3, this time from Atkins. That was hit out of bounds by McBride. Washington has taken 16 threes. Half of their shots have come from distance as Kelsey Plum makes sure everybody's okay on the sideline. So Deladon back in the game. Washington hit 4 of their first 8 threes. Now they've missed 8 in a row. They might need to come up with a plan B. But at least Deladon is back in, matched up against Asia Wilson. Shot clock winding down. Powers had to take that one. So the desperation 3 falls. Wilson just turns, shoots, and hits over Elena Deladon. And we talked to Asia earlier today. She was kind of a fangirl with Elena Deladon. Loves her game.
She's a huge fan of Deladon's, and she is a player that when Asia Wilson was in college would come to Atlanta when Deladon played against the Dream and could see maybe a future position-type player in Deladon and watches film of her. She said the way she creates space called her inspiring.
That was a foul on Kelsey Plum, her first. Yeah, she said when she played at South Carolina, she went to see her play at Atlanta and got a picture taken with Deladon. And now they are matched up against each other. Powers thinking about it. Now the switch. She goes all the way underneath, gets it to Miesemann, who finds the glass.
And that's growth for Aerial Powers. She's playing the best basketball of her career here in Washington because she's understanding how to think the game and how to make herself an asset when she doesn't have the ball in her hands.
They missed Miesemann when she was out, missed time with the Euro basket, playing for Belgium, and is coming off the bench this year. Powers grabbed Plum. And Miesemann has given Washington an entirely different dimension.
Again, once Aerial Powers decides she's going to put the ball on the deck, there's really not a lot of people that can stop her because of how explosive she is on the back out. She gets a piece of the baseline, and Emma doesn't miss very many wide open shots. One of the highest field goal percentage shooters in the league.
Miesemann missed 11 games playing for Belgium. Hamby guarded by Miesemann. Kayla McBride, one of the best three-point shooters in the league with the miss, but Wilson hustles. Now Deladon on Wilson. Deladon blocked it. Elena just outside of the top 10 in blocks in the league during the regular season. A terrific pass! And then a little reverse one-handed lay-in for Miesemann. McBride with the quick response. Elena Delle Donne is so important. When she's in the game, Washington tonight plus 11 in points. When she's out, minus 10. Emma. Washington back up 3. Emma has only missed 2 of her 8 shots tonight. And Wilson responds.
Boy, she's got that jump shot cooking. And that space is important because when she's in with Liz, it allows her to get the ball. It also driving lanes for her teammates.
Asia's hit 5 of her 6 shots tonight. Jackie Young in playing with Kelsey Plum now. And that's a foul on Miesemann. Her second.
Well, we talk a lot about Elena Delle Donne's offense, but she's got a little defense to boot as well. She gets a block. And on the other end, making a nice pass to Emma Miesemann. We will hear from Elena Delle Donne when we come back.
It really is special, and it's something I've been able to like have a moment and like really be like, wow, I'll go down in history for this one, which is really cool to think. And also to be the first WNBA player to do it, like maybe that'll now open the door for more to do it as well. So to be able to bust that door open, have it in the history books, it's really cool.
Elena Delle Donne making history, the first WNBA player ever to shoot 50% from the floor, 40% from 3, and 90% from the line.
I mean, they haven't named the league MVP yet, but I think there'll be riots if the name is not Elena Delle Donne. This is the list of professional players that are part of that club. No WNBA players, but Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, all names you recognize. All those guys giving EDD shout-outs on Twitter as well, congratulating her, because that is not easy to do when every night, every team is game planning to stop you, to slow you down, and you're still extremely efficient.
Steve Nash doing it the most times, 4 in his career. Delle Donne chases it down, but the shot clock is at 6. Sanders, a little bit too much spin. Kelsey Plum to Jackie Young. Wilson goes underneath. Sanders thought she got all ball, but instead another whistle.
Wilson has been a handful to start this game, creating space with the face-up, but also doing some dirty work down low as well. Just nice pass in traffic.
Foul called on Delle Donne. Wilson coming back with a terrific first half. This game already with 5 ties and 11 lead changes. Both teams on pace to break the century mark. Wilson has 8 of Vegas's last 10 points as they have taken a 3-point lead. That is their largest of the evening. Washington led early by 11. Hamby, she's such a pest. Delle Donne got it back momentarily. That's Washington's first turnover. Washington finally turns the ball over with just under 4 minutes to go in the half.
It'd be interesting. You mentioned the injury to Christy Tolliver that has kept her out for over a month. She's in the game with Cloud this time, so she won't have to play as many minutes at point guard. Wondering if that will help her to get her game going off the ball. She was 0 for 3 in her first stretch on the floor.
Yeah, Tolliver played almost 7 minutes in that first stretch. She told us she had played a total of, what, 11 minutes maybe in practice the last couple of days, getting on the court for the first time about 10 days ago after hurting her knee, a bone bruise, and also an MCL issue. Cloud disputes the foul call that puts McBride on the line. Mystics over the limit. Don't miss your chance to catch your favorite players, teams, and the continued WNBA playoffs action in person. Get your tickets today at WNBA.com/tickets. Connecticut, LA, they're going to play in Long Beach when they go back to the West Coast at the beginning of that series. Washington and Vegas are your playoff spots.
Jonquil Jones had some big moments, some big shots down the stretch of that game for Connecticut to secure that win.
Sanders, nice defense by Asia Wilson, who gets the rebound. Las Vegas. Nifty pass from Jackie Young over to Hamby. It is a 10-0 Vegas run. What a turn of events in Washington, and Mike Thibault calls a timeout.
Well, we started off this broadcast talking about the offense of the Washington Mystics, but it's been Las Vegas Aces offense, quick, fast, in a hurry, and transition, and finishing at the rim.
Halftime report presented by State Farm. Highlights and reaction from the Suns' Game 1 win over the Sparks as Connecticut wins a playoff game for the first time since 2012. Plus a recap of the draft lottery with the Liberty getting the #1 overall pick for the first time in franchise history. Back to D.C. with Pam and LaChina.
All right, Brooke, we will hear from you soon. And Elena Deladon's team is down right now. Kim Adams is standing by with their owner.
Ted, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know there's still a lot of work to be done for this team, but they've had such a historic season already. What do you make of the success that Coach Thibault and this group has had?
Well, just a great chemistry and great front office. We're very excited. This is our first adversity in a while, so it'll be good to see the team overcome this and keep this home court advantage in front of these fantastic fans.
Yeah, this is a beautiful brand new arena here. How pleased are you with it and how the city is really embracing this team?
Well, we love the NBA and the WNBA and the G League, and we've created monumental basketball. We want to share best practices. You see a lot of the Wizards players here, John Wall, Bradley Beal, Rui taking in his first WNBA game. So it's great to see that kind of synergy, and just to do this in front of these fans who have welcomed us so much at Ward 8.
Absolutely. Well, Ted, thank you so much for the time, and good luck the rest of the series.
Thanks for coming.
Ted Leonsis, the owner of the Washington Mystics. Deladon with a couple of buckets. Also, the Washington Capitals. So he got a Stanley Cup for the city of Washington. Can the Mystics win their first title this year?
This facility is first class. I mean, plenty of space for both teams to practice. This is a more intimate feel as Hamby knocks down the long shot than we could remember them having in Verizon or Capital One. They have nutritionists, great recovery. I mean, that's how you treat professionals. This is how the WNBA deserves to be treated.
Yeah, first-class facility, the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Southeast Washington, D.C. Sanders, nice hustle play to knock it away. So Elena Deladon trying to get Washington to come back.
She's trying to do it single-handedly right now because Washington is not in a rhythm. And you're playing a team in Las Vegas that just came off of an emotional game-winning shot in a win-or-go-home situation. Good balance and focus by Deladon. And Washington's been off for a while. And so you wonder how much of that has to do with the rest, but you got to credit Vegas as well because they've asserted themselves.
It's been 9 days. Their last game was a week ago Sunday when they closed out the regular season by scoring 100 points against Chicago. Washington, talking about this building, home court advantage. They've won 10 in a row here. Only lost 8 games all season.
And you see they're trying to kind of play that zone look a little bit.
Sanders picked up her dribble. Atkins can't get it in. Latoya Sanders. She's not flashy, but she does all the little things like sticking with second and third chances.
Way undersized on paper. But Latoya Sanders has heart. She's battled night in and night out at the center position for the Washington Mystics. Just does not give up on this one. And she told us that in her exit meeting with Mike Thibault last year, she said, "Are you going to give me a center in the offseason?" And he said he would. But after looking, he said, "I didn't find anything that is better than you." And it has allowed them to play a different style being small. But in a matchup like this, it can hurt you.
Especially with someone like Cambage at 6'8". That was only Washington's third free throw attempt. The Aces are 11 from 11 from the charity stripe. Jackie Young with the basket. That's her first field goal of the playoffs. She only had a free throw made against Chicago. Sanders back-to-back, this time from the outside.
And she's had good games against Vegas because of her quickness and her mobility. Liz Cambage is often not quick enough to get out to contest.
Sanders now with 9 points and 4 rebounds. McBride with the floater that just wouldn't go in, but Cambage had perfect position.
Got to box her out. Points in the paint for Las Vegas just mounting in this first half. That's their strength.
Another three, Deladon. Washington got off to a very good start with threes, but they have missed most of them. Shot clock is off. Bill Lambier takes a timeout with 12.8 seconds left to go in the half. We will take a quick timeout as well.
Wilson and Liz Cambage, because their size and even this versatility by Wilson, the face-up game, but they really dominated the paint. I mean, look at Cambage here at 6'8". If she keeps it high, you don't box her out, you have no shot. And Las Vegas has also got an advantage on the glass. +7.
Las Vegas also shooting well as a team at 61% from the floor. Plum with the ball in her hands. Pulls up, hits it at the buzzer. She did that against Chicago on Sunday as well. And Vegas goes into the locker room up 7.
Kelsey Plum looking to be aggressive. She had a solid offensive half here. A lot of confidence right here, giving her team some momentum going into the locker room. It's really been their bench. De'Erica Hamby has been active, as we know her to be, running the floor, getting easy shots. And have yourself a half Kelsey Plum, looking extremely confident. What's good? Your shot. And Liz Cambage and Asia Wilson putting in work as always. When you look at the numbers, second chance points, rebound margin, free throw attempts, points in the paint, Vegas big in all of those.
Las Vegas as a team shot 62% from the floor. De'Erica Hamby and Kelsey Plum off the bench have been nothing short of brilliant for Bill Lambier's squad. Miesemann gets the miss. For the Washington Mystics, the #1 overall seed. They won a franchise record 26 games this year, 2 out of 3 from Vegas. But they are down in this game by 7.
Got to be able to cash out when 2 defenders are on Elena Deladon.
Well, in Washington, relying so heavily on the 3. And they have not been successful from distance after a fast start.
They only averaged 25 three-point attempts per game on the season. They had 19 in the first half.
That goes right through the hands of Cambage. This Cambage coming off a 23-point, 17 rebound, and 6-block night. Bill Lambier looking pained over there on the bench.
The turnovers hurt them early in the game. That's why Washington was able to get some momentum. And that's something that's plagued Vegas throughout the season, with the turnovers.
Yep, 11 of Washington's points in the first half coming off turnovers. Deladon finally will get to the free throw line, but to her chagrin, she will not go there with an opportunity for a 3-point play. Elena Deladon in the playoffs has hit 38 straight free throws. That is 2 off the all-time WNBA record held by Nicole Powell and Cappie Pondexter. And now she's 1 away from tying it.
When we look at her record in the 50, 40, 90 club, the first thing that comes to mind is her composure and her poise. No matter what the defense does, she just maintains a focus, the same focus that has allowed her to be such a successful free throw shooter.
So now she has tied the WNBA playoff record with 40 straight free throws. Washington down by 5. Cambage really wants it, wants the lob, and it was a little bit too much. she's telling Jackie Young to throw it up higher. I think maybe get some more arc on it. Remember, Liz is 6'8". And LaToya Sanders trying to guard her is at least 5 inches shorter. Atkins takes it right to Cambage, contact, and then the foul called by Roy Gobain.
A little bit of a late whistle. On the pick and roll, Atkins doesn't see the kick back to Sanders, so she challenges 6'8", which can be dangerous, but that's the right call.
Atkins kind of bent in half as she went to the floor.
And that's one thing I was thinking about in the Chicago game, is that A'ja Wilson and Liz Cambage, no foul trouble. Teams have to be willing to challenge them at the rim and help them to get a couple fouls and maybe get them to sit on the bench.
Yeah, they each finished the game with only 2. Washington now 15 points off turnovers, plus 13 on Vegas. Cutting the lead to 3. Jackie Young stopped. A double stuff for LaToya Sanders.
Excellent help here by Sanders, because Atkins was beat. And Jackie Young saw Liz Cambage and also saw the rim. Good tie-up, and not a great decision by Young, because you could see Sanders coming over for that help.
Mike Tebow says that LaToya Sanders is the most underrated defender in the WNBA. He loves her. And she showed you some of that good defense on that last play. Deladon working on Young.
Deladon has had to work so hard for shots.
Trying to get it into Cambage, who just stuck with it. 0 for 2 on that trip. Cloud, Deladon, Miesemann. There's a 3. And it says thank you to Deladon for the assist. It's a 7-0 Washington run to tie it up.
This is what Washington did not have in that first half consistently. The attack in the ball movement to Deladon, to Miesemann, buckets.
Pick in the 2020 WNBA draft presented by State Farm belongs to the New York Liberty.
That was earlier tonight. Bethany Donovan with the announcement. So the Liberty get the first pick, followed by Dallas, Indiana, and Atlanta, the 4 teams that did not make the playoffs. Or should we just call it the Sabrina Ionescu sweepstakes?
She would be my #1 pick, and that's going to be a great fit for the New York Liberty. We know about Sabrina's triple doubles. We know that she comes from a pick and roll system at Oregon with Kelly Graves. We know she's improved defensively, but what I love about her is, as a leader, she has a fire in her belly, and she is not afraid to hold her teammates accountable.
And boy, that would be a shot in the arm for a New York franchise that has fallen on tough times lately. Kelsey Plum in the game, and right away, she takes it to the basket for the first points of the half for Vegas.
Kelsey Plum has found her stride.
Plum has hit all 5 of her shots in this game, but that was tipped away. Deladon. Boy, really good defense by Wilson. And then Deladon got hit. Nowhere to go.
And her teammates have to make sure they position themselves so that she's got a passing angle.
Elena Deladon with 14 points. Emma Miesemann leading Washington with 15. A'ja Wilson with 15 for the Aces. Atkins with a nice dish to Miesemann. Wilson thought she'd have a chance at a block shot.
Atkins was settling for some outside shots early, but she's made the adjustment, and that's what a game like this is for, is you feel what's working for you, what's not. And attacking has worked for her in recent possessions.
Plum continues to attack. Erica Hamby will come in at the next whistle, excuse me. Hamby and Plum were terrific off the bench in the first half for Vegas. Tipped away from Deladon.
Great help. Deladon had a mismatch, and Elizabeth Cambage came over to double.
McBride Cross court to Young. Now Cambage pulled away from the basket. McBride, 3. Kayla McBride with her first 3 of the evening. Averages just under 2 per game, which is best on this team. Kelsey Plum has 5 assists tonight as well. Has the ball in her hands. Wilson, ooh, relentless. Las Vegas shooting 56% from the floor. Miesemann drew contact and got the foul. She saw a little bit of daylight and went for it.
Emma Miesemann does not get enough credit for being a great decision maker. She's an underrated passer, and she's efficient. Doesn't have a lot of quickness, but she knows where the basket is, and that's all that counts.
Emma Miesemann has scored the last 7 points for the Mystics in her 6th year from Belgium. Remember, she did not play at all last season in Washington. They still made it to the finals. Adding an extra dimension coming off the bench this year for Mike Thibault. Now Wilson goes after Deladon. Hamby, instant energy.
Boy, look at the rebounding by Las Vegas.
Carolyn Swords in the game for the first time.
I mean, Plum is just looking to get to the rim. That aggressive mindset, both off the bounce and when we saw her early in the first half from the three-point line. I was being sarcastic when I said she had a decent first half. She didn't miss a shot. I just like it when she goes back and watches and she gets fired up and asks me questions and shoot around about what I said.
Second foul on Sanders. Hamby left it short. Vegas also winning in the rebounding battle with Washington. +9. And a defensive 3-second call against the Aces. So this is something we thought might come into play. Bill Laimbeer wanting to put in a form of a zone defense tonight.
And it's the zone is a defense that Vegas has not really played this year. So I don't know if he's trying to work it in here or there. I have not seen them.
And with that free throw, Elena Deladon has set a new WNBA playoff record, making 41 consecutive free throws in the postseason. Natasha Cloud's turn to drive. And then she talks back to the crowd to fire them up.
And Cloud has this in her. She's a slasher by nature, and she's big. And if you're talking about paint touches, this is not a back-to-the-basket post team. But off of the bounce, they've got some players that can get to the lane. Atkins has been trying to drive, but Cloud, so powerful.
Washington up 2. They've scored the last 7 points of this game. They trailed by 7 at the half. Swords left open, which might be part of the strategy for Washington. Everybody hits the deck. Plum comes away with it.
Washington has to secure rebounds.
McBride doesn't need much time. Her second 3 of the quarter. And Vegas bounces back on top. And now Washington responds.
Cool, calm, and collect. Cool, calm, and collect. Never sped up.
Lead changes. Sorry, 14 lead changes after Miesemann's shot. Make it 15. What a game.
A'ja Wilson got the confidence in her face-up jump shot very early. So right now, she's settled in, and even through the contact, gets it to go. She was looking forward to this matchup against Elena Deladon. She looks up to her, tries to imitate her with some of the things she does, getting space on the floor offensively. And I'm seeing a different A'ja Wilson in this game. And take a look out on the floor. She's doing it without Liz Cambage. They tend to have success in strides when the other one is not on the floor.
Second foul on Deladon. Wilson now has 20. Miesemann leading everyone with 22 for DC. Make it 25! 13 points for Miesemann in this quarter after Washington only scored 3 points in the first half with their bench players. Another foul on Deladon. Two quick ones, she has 3.
Emma Miesemann is able to capitalize off of the defensive attention that Elena Deladon gets throughout the course of the game. Right here, Deladon on the drive. A'ja Wilson has to respect it as well as Hamby. And making the extra pass, that's what Washington has done well consistently this year. They cannot lose sight of that.
Emma Miesemann, who had been coming off the bench starting in this game, she has 25 points, which matches her season high and has almost doubled her regular season average.
And shots from all over the floor. That 11 for 15 from the field is of a great variety. The drive, the mid-range shot, the long ball.
The everything. A great arsenal for Miesemann. A'ja Wilson ties it up. As we go close to 2.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Game 1 of this best-of-5 semifinal. Park in, guarding Deladon. Another tough shot. Christy Tolliver and Tiana Hawkins, 2 bench players in now for Maryland. Or for Washington is Tolliver, who went to Maryland, gets the block.
Kelsey Plum is determined to go off of the drive, but it's about getting back. And Cloud from behind with good help defense.
Hey, excuse me, that was Cloud and not Tolliver.
And the one thing that Mike Tebow was concerned about with Christy Tolliver is her defense. And team helping to clean it up on that one.
Deflected, Park collects.
That was a contested shot.
Deladon guarded by Hamby.
Not a lot of bench contribution for Washington. You can't lose sight of the fact that Washington has the #1 scoring bench in the WNBA, and Plum really attacking Tolliver.
Yeah, going right at her. Again, Christy Tolliver has been out for a month with a hurt knee.
And that's smart by Plum. She's been out. They don't know how much she's been participating. We mentioned earlier she's played probably 10 minutes of actual basketball in practice. Plum's taking it to her.
Plum, an 87% free throw shooter. Sports Center tonight after Reds-Cubs baseball with John Butchergross and John Anderson. Doug Glanville joins the show to talk about the Cubs injuries, plus the race for the best record in baseball, and the Mile High Stunner highlights NFL's Week 2. Coming up, Sports Center after Reds-Cubs on ESPN and the ESPN app. Plum delivers from the line. Vegas now 15 of 16 from the free throw line tonight. Deladon. Good recovery from Hamby. Cloud left it short. Miesemann hustled in to get the rebound, and then it was knocked out of bounds by Wilson. Washington basketball.
Cloud didn't get her legs under that shot.
Washington 7 of 23 from three-point range. It's 30%. Deladon decides to drive this time.
And nobody home on the glass. I'll say this again, Deladon has had to work really hard for shots, and that's not something when Washington is flowing offensively. She's capable of doing that one-on-one every time, but it's a heavy burden.
She has missed half of her 14 shots. Hawkins. 10 seconds to shoot for Cloud. Hamby blanketing Deladon. Now Deladon with the mismatch with Sugar Rogers. Spins, tough shot. Miesemann another board. Tolliver hits it! Christy Tolliver's first shot since August. That time Plum didn't have any magic at the end of the quarter, but Tolliver with the big three.
Well, it was all Vegas in the first half, but the Washington Mystics making a push behind their leader, Christy Tolliver. Is she back, Pam? We'll find out.
Welcome back to Washington, D.C., joined by Mystics head coach Mike Thibault. And coach, there's been no let-up in the attack for Las Vegas. How can you contain them better in this final quarter?
Well, we did a better job this quarter than we did in the first half. We got cross-matched in transition. I thought we did a bad job of picking up the ball early and getting matched up in transition. It was a little bit better here. Our defense was better. You know, we can't put them at the free throw line. I think that's a big thing. And the other part of it is when their posts catch the ball at 15 feet, you can't let them just have a free look. You got to make them put it on the floor.
Before Christy's big shot there, the three hadn't been falling at too high of a rate. How do you need to continue scoring in other ways?
Well, move the ball, first of all. If we can penetrate, the threes get easier. But I'd like to get some shots at the rim and get ourselves to the free throw line, too.
Thanks so much for the time.
Deanna Hawkins with the turnover to start things off in the fourth quarter. Pam Ward, LaChina Robinson, you heard from Kim Adams with head coach Mike Thibault, and what has been a very entertaining game so far. Asia Wilson starting this quarter on the bench. She leads Vegas with 21 points. Emma Miesemann with 25. That's only the second shot Cambasia's taken in the second half.
But that's what Mike Thibault was talking about. Where was the defense on McBride? They weren't matched up.
Ariel Powers off the back rim. Hawkins took it away from Cambage. And then put the shot in. Cambage favoring her left eye right now. First basket for Hawkins. Part of a usual potent bench attack. Just her first points of the night. And then Sanders goes over the back, no foul. Wilson coming back in. Great ball movement, and that's a new season high for Emma Miesemann. 27 points. And now a foul on Washington. Miesemann goes out.
The last couple of possessions, Christy Tolliver hit that three at the end of that quarter, and now we see what she does so well. Moving the ball, coming off of that pick and roll. Initiating the type of attack that Mike Thibault was talking about.
Second chance for Vegas. McBride hits the two. Miesemann on the bench after committing her third personal foul for Washington. Hawkins, her turn to hit a three.
And that's what Tolliver does so well.
You know, when she got hurt, she was averaging 6 assists per game. Right up near the top of the league.
Well, she understands spacing and angles. Comes off of that, and Hawkins knows if she spaces, she can knock down the three. Christy Tolliver will find her. And you're right, Pam. If Tolliver would have continued to play, she'd be second in the league in assists, career high. She just has a feel for the game.
Hamby hit the deck. Ball goes out of bounds to Washington. Don't miss your chance to catch your favorite players, teams, and the continuing WNBA playoffs. Do it in person. Get your tickets today at WNBA.com/tickets. And this building is jumping, the Entertainment and Sports Arena. First year Washington is played here. Another great crowd on hand with the late tip at 8:30 local. Atkins, good thing she hit that. There was nobody under there to rebound it. Washington, all of a sudden up 10, thanks to a 12-2 run. Timeout, Vegas.
Copyrighted telecast of WNBA Enterprises may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise used in any form without the express written consent of WNBA Enterprises.
The thing with this team is you stop Elena, there's so many other players that can step up as well. So, you know, we can't just stay focused on her. We need to focus on the rest of the team.
Well, when Vegas did focus in on Elena Deladon, they've done a really good job here in some of the recent possessions when she's touched it, using their size and length to cover her up here, making every shot difficult, being physical with her, but just being present and crowding her. But guess what happens? When you focus on Elena, other players get loose. What a night for Emma Miesemann. They started to make the extra pass, attack the rim, as you see Cloud doing there. And the balance, the way the floor is spread, and again, their unselfishness in how they move the basketball has been a key to this run.
Washington's 12-2 run started with Christy Tolliver's 3, her first points of the night, coming back from the knee injury. That's a great recovery by Cam Beige. That's her first points of the second half.
And when she gets 2 feet in the paint like that, you got to have a plan B. But credit that Vegas only has 6 points in the paint in the second half. So Washington has done a good job in limiting some of those higher percentage looks.
Tolliver saw Cam Beige on her, drove. Deladon lost it on the way up, but a foul called on Plum, and she's got to be careful as she gets in Roy Gobain's face.
She's got a warning.
She is fortunate that she didn't get a technical foul.
Plum giving up some size to Deladon here, and it must have been on that tap on the back elbow. Roy's right on top of it.
And Plum's right on top of Roy.
Right.
Gives her the warning.
She was.
She must not have said one of the magic words to get the technical.
It looked like she said, "You don't call that."
Yeah, Plum is, again, having a spectacular postseason so far. Very fiery, emotional.
Take a look and see if we can tell here. Yeah, you got to call that. She got the elbow.
That's a foul.
Roy's getting the same treatment I get during the game from Kelsey Plum. How about that?
She is fired up. Deladon. Well, you were right, LaChina. She has had to work for every inch of real estate out there, every shot. Hamby left open. Hawkins with the weak side rebound.
You'll take Hamby on that shot instead of a second chance opportunity for her or a rim runner for her.
Tolliver. Biggest lead of the night for the Mystics. They led by 11 in the first quarter. Now they're up 12. Make it 10.
Yeah, that ISO inside, that one-on-one with Cam Beige with a 6-inch height advantage over LaToya Sanders. That's not going to work. You got to do something different.
Cam Beige working on another double-double. Cam Beige trying to do it almost single-handedly, draws the foul. Tolliver and Elena Deladon are good buddies.
What a punch from Christy Tolliver in this game. She has barely played any live basketball since August 1st, but that step back, that three-point shot is what she does. And Elena Deladon and Christy Tolliver are the leaders of this team. They have a great relationship, and they came to Washington to do something special. Disappointed in last year, but they're trying to get it going with Tolliver coming off of that injury.
Christy Tolliver, 0 for 4 from the floor in the first half, missed all 3 of her threes. She's hit her last 3 shots that include a couple of three-pointers. A Washington team that tore through the league. They won 17 of their last 19 games.
And I should say, Pam, she actually suffered the injury on August 1st in the practice before Seattle, but kept playing on that knee. And it was actually that back-to-back where they finished the Vegas game that really wore that knee down.
Cambage doing all of the damage now in the fourth quarter, excuse me.
Sanders needs some help. Either you got to pressure the pass to Cambage and not let him get it in there, or everyone's got to at least try to have a foot in the paint.
Emma Mieseman's going to come in at the next opportunity for Washington. That should help. Hamby gets it to Sydney Colson. First time we've seen Colson in the game. McBride passes up the 3 for the 2 and hits nothing but net. Marvelous shooter. He did a very good defensive job on Allie Quigley in the win against Chicago on Sunday.
Yeah, she did.
Quigley,
not get enough credit for that.
Yeah, Quigley only 2 of 11 and missed all 6 of her threes in that game. Shot clock at 5 for Deladon. Five minutes to go in the fourth. Hamby, tough drive, contact, Atkins on the floor.
Boy, Vegas is determined to get into the paint. Either with the passes to Cambage, attacking the rim like you just saw Hamby doing there. And they're doing it very quickly. You know, Mike Tebow talked about how his team was not getting back and getting matched up. Well, Vegas doesn't give you time to catch your breath. They're coming right at you.
WNBA playoffs continue Thursday. Another doubleheader on ESPN2. Sparks Sun, game 2 at 6:30 Eastern. Then game 2 from here in Washington at 8:30 Eastern. For more on these games, go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. Hamby 0 for 2 on that trip. Connecticut beat LA earlier tonight in these best-of-5 semifinals. Connecticut, the number 2 seed, Washington, number 1. All 4 top seeds got through to the semis. Miesemann back in for Washington. 27 points in 25 minutes. They need a shot. They're not going to get one. One pass too many. Las Vegas in the bonus for the rest of the game. Vegas has only committed 1 team foul, Washington with 4, so the next one puts Vegas on the line.
And Mike Tebow's not happy, and I understand why. You got 2 point guards on the floor with Christy Tolliver and Natasha Cloud, and you don't even get a shot. You don't even know where you want to go to get the shot.
Wilson slashes in, rims out, but a fresh 14. McBride heads back to the free throw line for Vegas.
Washington has struggled to secure rebounds to finish the defensive possession. And credit Vegas with the way they have attacked the glass consistently in this game.
Tolliver second, puts McBride at the line. She is now 3 for 3. Check out ESPN's women's basketball podcast, Around the Rim with LaChina Robinson. New episodes weekly on the ESPN app or Apple Podcast as you take a close look at these WNBA playoffs. Kayla. It's a 7-0 Vegas run, just like that. Aces continuing to show the comeback They were down double digits to Chicago on Sunday and came back to win in dramatic fashion. Another shot clock violation for Washington. That's 2 in a row.
It's not going to happen on first side. It won't probably happen with the first pass to Deladon. The ball movement has to be there. Make the defense shift. Right here, Kayla McBride is hanging out. She's clogging it, threatening to trap because it's a lower percentage shot if Deladon kicks out to Cloud.
Cambage catches it there, it's over. And Washington again set a WNBA record for points per game. Usually the ball doesn't stick on one side, fluid offense, but some struggles tonight against Vegas. Deladon, much needed 3 for Washington to snap the run.
You see how they worked into the clock? But there was an intent as they were working down the shot clock.
McBride answers Deladon's 3 and has some words for Cloud after she hit the shot.
That could get dicey.
McBride has hit 3 of her 5 threes tonight. Sanders, short, rebound, Liz.
Vegas is on top of every rebound, both ends of the floor.
Look at Liz bring the ball up. At 6'8". Plum, back rim. Vegas with the opportunity to cut it to a 1-possession game and could not. Washington led by 13 just a few minutes ago. Deladon gets it back. She needs to shoot, puts her head down.
And that's one of those possessions where you wonder if Christy Tolliver is starting to wear down. You've got your best 2 players in a 2-man game, and they get nothing out of it.
Deladon's played a ton of minutes tonight as well, but Tolliver coming back. Hasn't played in a game since August, early August. Wilson, beautiful finish.
Somebody's got to be willing to take a charge.
A 13-point lead is down to 2.
The Las Vegas Aces, tough, physical, determined, and they have asserted themselves in a big way in this run from the outside with Kayla McBride and interior Asia Wilson. Boy, oh boy.
The WNBA Playoffs 2019 is brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. And the new toasted cheddar chalupa at Taco Bell.
Game 2 doubleheader coming your way on Thursday. The Sparks down 1-0 to Connecticut. Play at 6:30 Eastern time on ESPN2. And then we'll be right back here in Washington for Game 2 of what is shaping up to be a terrific series. And the Las Vegas All-Stars showing out tonight.
3-headed monster. The inside attack of Liz Cambage and Asia Wilson. And then the complement to that to keep the defense honest. Kayla McBride, she had not had a ton of success shooting high percentage numbers from 3 in her last few games, but making up for it tonight, 3 for 5 from long range.
A 14-3 Vegas run. Tolliver, that's a tough shot and missed.
And you could tell she could not get up on that jump shot.
So Vegas down at one point 92-79 can tie this game. Wilson can't. Big rebound for Miesemann. Mike Tebow calls a play. Washington with the ball. Vegas has a foul to give.
And Deladon was emphatically saying something on the baseline. I don't know what.
Turnaround. Got it! Elena Deladon playing like the MVP she should be.
Empty possessions, a lot of them for Washington. But when you call the number of Elena Deladon, 11 delivers. That was a big one. We've seen Washington come down the floor and not have an idea what they can get, what they will get. And this is just a difficult shot because you could tell Deladon, as this game has gone on, she's had to work so hard for every shot. And Vegas shut her down for a stretch, but we're looking at the toughest defensive assignment in this league, in my opinion, in a one-on-one situation with Deladon.
Plum right to the hoop, quick basket. Drawn up, no doubt, during the timeout, and now pressure in the backcourt. Remember, you have 8 seconds to get it across in the WNBA, and Miesemann at 6'4" brings it over. Washington up 2. Deladon, will she do it again? Time running out. Kelsey Plum. The game ends. No foul call. And Washington wins it. 97-95. Lambier pleading with the officials, wanting an explanation as to why there was no foul call.
There should have been. There should have been a foul call. Elena Deladon made contact with Kelsey Plum from behind. That should have been a foul. And time had not expired when that contact was made.
Foul from behind with about 0.2 of a second left. The foul that was not called, we should say. So Kelsey Plum